Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. I'm Kirti Sophia Pernashan, and in today's session, we'll be continuing electronic media. And in today's session, we'll be learning about radio, and this is part 4. Discussion programs on radio. The discussion program provides a platform for the exchange of ideas. The ideas may be important ones which concerns us as individuals, as members of a community, or as nationals of a country. Or they may be ideas intended simply to entertain us. The discussion may be serious or light-hearted, but its purpose is always to set us thinking. Entertainments. Light entertainment is a rather loose term used by many stations to cover a wide field of programming. Book and short story readings, serialized drama, particularly light and humorous drama, variety programs featuring light musical entertainment, comics, community singing, quizzes, and panel games. Radio music. Music fills by far the greatest part of the broadcast day. The general tone and character of a station's music does more to establish the image of a station than any of its other activities. It is in the nature of all of us to enjoy music. We enjoy it for its rhythms, its melodies, and its harmonies. Some music is predominantly melodic. It has memorable tunes, while other music is dominated by its harmonic structure, that is, the way in which notes and groups of notes make pleasant sounds when heard together. European music gives a great deal of emphasis to melody, while Indian and Arabic music regards harmony as being more important. The music could be classified into 4. They are primitive music, folk music, popular music, and art music. Let's go into a little bit of depth. Primitive music. Music with no written score, no known composers, and of ancient origin are known as primitive music. The second one is folk music, also with no written score, but sometimes with known composers and generally of more recent origin. The third one is popular music, sometimes with a written score, composers frequently known, and they are marked melodies. And the last one is art music. A written score is there, composers invariably known, and a classical structure is there for this kind of music. Moving on, radio drama. There are 3 methods of presenting radio plays. The first one is a completely self-contained play, which is of 30, 45 or 60 minutes in length. The second one is serial drama. It will be of 15 or 30 minutes in length, in which the action goes forward from one episode to another. And the last one is series drama. Each broadcast generally lasting for 30 minutes and completing one whole episode of a continued story. The principal characters reappear in new situations in each new drama in the series. I hope you have already seen at least a few English series which are on televisions, so you understand what a series drama is. Radio advertising. A station which carries advertising obtains it either directly from an advertiser or indirectly through an agency representing an advertiser. Where an account is obtained through an agency, the agency prepares the advertisements called copy or commercials. They listen to the station to make sure they are properly broadcast and at the times contracted for. Where a station obtains an account direct from the advertiser, the station generally writes the copy by themselves. Writing radio scripts. Radio writing differs from writing for publication in print because the medium is different. Broadcasting is a form of living publication. It is not static but something which moves forward in present time. This calls for a different approach, that is a different style for writing scripts in radio. The reader of a newspaper or a magazine can select or reject paragraphs or whole stories as the fancy takes him. When he is not clear in his understanding of the author's meaning, he can always reread. This is not how radio functions. The listener has to take everything as it comes or not listen to it at all. When he is unclear, he has no means of referring back to clarify a point. A radio script writer must therefore seek to hold the listener's rapt attention and go to considerable pains to ensure that the meaning is clear and understandable at every stage of a talk or story as it progresses. Another distinctive characteristic of radio writing is that things heard on the radio appears to the listener to be happening now. A broadcast is not a report of something past and gone. Even the act of news reading is something taking place at the same time as it is heard. Above all, radio writing is writing for the spoken word, and everyday speech should be the guide to the words we use and the manner in which we use them. In talking with one another, we use familiar words. We assemble what we have to say in short phrases and seldom put our ideas together in the kind of lengthy paragraphs which we may write. We put forward our ideas directly, not cluttered with small details nor involved in rambling parentheses. From these characteristics of radio writing, we may deduce a series of rules. Moving forward to the rules. Yes, so the below are the tips to write good radio scripts. So let's see what they are. UNESCO document on radio production advanced the following suggestions to ensure the quality of radio scripts. The first one is use words which are in everyday use and are readily understood by the majority of people. This does not mean to say that we should use only simple words to the exclusion of all others. Where it is necessary to use an unfamiliar word, it should be explained or enlarged upon in a short explanatory sentence or a short parenthesis. The second one is sentences should be kept short. But we must avoid a series of short staccato sentences which would make a speech sound jerky. Variety of sentences and length of sentences makes a speech sound interesting. In general, however, the length should tend to be short rather than long. A sentence should never be longer than the number of words we can easily carry on a breath. The third one is avoid dependent clauses and clumsy inversions. Dependent clauses and inverted clauses are quite common in written matter, but we seldom use them in normal speech. For example, we may write, longing for a cold drink as he had walked many miles that day under a hot sun, Festus walked into the first bar he came to the village. In radio style, the idea may be better expressed this way. Okay, not the way just that I told right now. Festus was thirsty. He had walked many miles that day and the sun had been agonizing hot. He entered the first bar he came to in the village. So when I read these sentences, you are able to comprehend it better than the previous one. The fourth one is use descriptive words where possible, but use them with care. The radio listener has only words to guide him and to sketch pictures which he would otherwise see with his eyes. The use of a descriptive word helps him to see the picture. In the example above, agonizingly hot says more than simply under a hot sun, isn't it? But descriptive words can be overused if a script is filled with them. These are better than figures where it is possible to use them. The fifth one is speech has rhythm and speech rhythms should be kept in mind when writing radio scripts. A radio script should flow with the frequency or fluency of poetry. It helps to carry the listener along and it holds his attention. Some of the best of radio dramas and radio documentaries have been written by poets who have a flair for the rhythm of language. The sixth point is a radio script should display an element of nowness. Whatever the broadcast, as far as the listener is concerned, it is happening right now. It is an immediate and a personal experience. This should always be kept in mind when writing for radio. The choice of viewpoint from which a script is written, the choice of words, the author's approach, and the enthusiasm with which he writes all have a bearing on the sense of immediacy. Moving on to the last part, producing radio programs. As per the guidelines of the UNESCO document which details how to produce professional radio programs, a radio producer should have certain qualities. The qualities are a good grasp of the language, good manners, skills in instructing and directing, good general knowledge, interest in community affairs, a sense of responsibility and ability to take initiative, enthusiasm to experiment, a creative sense, an ear for sound, thorough knowledge of technical facilities and techniques of radio. The outline makes no reference to educational qualification, although some are implied. So that's all for today. I hope today's session was fruitful for you all. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Once again, thank you so much.